Mexico is better than food in the US. Welcome back, Tangerine Tagalongs. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Jordan. We are Tangerine Travels.
Today we are going to a place that so many of you recommended we go to, and that is Glorieta Chapalita, is that right?
Si.
Okay. We came later in the afternoon, so I'm not totally sure that there's all the art and happenings that might otherwise be happening. With happenings that happen.
Hashtag happening.
But it is a beautiful little park, and we are going to explore a little bit around here. We'll see where the wind blows us. Oh my gosh, look at all these birds. Oh my god. So, due to our general lack of planning, I think we may have come here at the wrong time. Maybe you guys could help us out in the comments. When actually should we have come here where there's stuff happening? But anyway, we are not going to let this time in this beautiful park go to waste. What we are going to do instead is tell you why we think food in Mexico is better than food in the US. Might remember that we made a comment in our Why Mexico Doesn't Make Sense video.
We had said we don't know why people think Mexican food is healthy. There was such backlash about that.
Because I think people misinterpreted what we really meant about that as thinking that we think that food in the US is superior to that of Mexico, when in fact we think completely the opposite. We think food in Mexico is better in just about every way. Yes, it's still unhealthy a lot of the time, but it's way better, and we're going to tell you why.
So a lot of people are new around here, and I'm not sure how much detail we've gone into about this, but why don't you share a little bit of your story with your food allergies and what you experienced in the US and then what you experienced after coming here.
I think some of you guys might know by now that I'm dealing with severe mercury toxicity, and to answer the first question that probably popped into your mind, how on earth did I get mercury poisoning? We have no idea. It could be a number of things. The relevant details, I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but over the years I was dealing with lots and lots of health issues, and as time went on I was able to eat fewer and fewer foods until it got to the point where I was able to eat 6 foods. 6.
That doesn't mean like a hamburger, enchiladas.
No.
It's like purple
6
cabbage.
ingredients: rice, cabbage, olive oil, a few select spices. I'm sure you get the point. Very, very limited amount of food. So why? It could be partly due to mercury toxicity, but what I think is more likely is that it's due to the, excuse the language, up food in the US. Genetic modification, processed foods, harmful chemicals, additives, preservatives, it's all crap. Food in the US is just trash.
Over the past, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, I've personally noticed so many more people becoming sensitive to various foods in the US. It just seems to be
An epidemic.
Becoming widespread, yeah, an epidemic.
So I don't want to get into too much detail about my health and how terrible it was, because this could become a very, very depressing video very fast. But what we're going to get into now is how great it is that once we came to Mexico, I was able to start reintroducing so many things. I still have a few allergies, but when we first came to Mexico, we started trying little things here and there. A vegetable like broccoli or spinach, trying to reintroduce something like that, and the craziest thing happened. My body wasn't getting a reaction to it anymore, and so we continued to very, very slowly reintroduce things, and then I tried cheese, something I hadn't had in over 4 years, and I didn't get migraines from it. And then we tried dairy and meat and other things, and I wasn't having these crazy, crazy adverse reactions like I was having in the US. It's crazy. So it became obvious very quickly that there was something different about the food in Mexico, because all of a sudden my body was okay eating food again, and that was a miracle. By the way, if you didn't know already, I'm allergic to onions, sesame seeds, and peas. Those are allergies that I still have here in Mexico.
Backtrack just a little bit. We're in the US ordering food at just about any restaurant. We ask if something has onions. They don't know. They have to go check every time. They never knew the ingredients. Oftentimes we would go back to the restaurant again and have the same meal that we had last time, but this time they told us it has onions. Got to the point where we didn't go out to eat anymore because the chances of Maddie getting a reaction was practically 100%. Fast forward a little bit to Mexico, they'll bring out 5 different salsas. Then we ask which salsas have onion, and they go this one, and this one.
And if they don't know, which is very rare, they can very easily go back into the kitchen and they know 100% of all the ingredients in all of the foods that they're serving. Why? Because it's almost all prepared from scratch, fresh, in-house.
Unlike in the US, they'll buy pre-prepared salsa or have ingredients going into all of their dishes that are bought and prepared somewhere else. And here in Mexico, if some food does have onions or peas or sesame seeds, it can almost always be made without it because they prepare it there at the restaurant and make everything to order.
When it comes down to it, we can't really get into the politics of what exactly it is that's making food in the US so bad these days and what's causing the epidemic of intolerances and food allergies, whether that's genetic modification, pesticides or preservatives or chemicals or whatever it is. But it really did become evident when we came to Mexico that there's just something better and more natural and more pure about the food here. If all of a sudden so many of the foods that were making my daily life terrible weren't doing that anymore. And that's an amazing thing.
Over the course of about a year's time, I saw Maddie being able to eat almost nothing. Every bite she put in her mouth, it was most likely going to give her some type of reaction. Her body was rejecting everything. Until you've seen that firsthand, you really can't understand how difficult that is and how much that weighs on you. It just makes your life so miserable.
That was so hard to deal with every day, and that was one of the big reasons why we wanted to explore going to Mexico, because it was getting to the point where like, I can't do this anymore. I'm afraid to eat anything. And the point we're getting at is the fact that I can now eat food again here in Mexico. I am just so thankful and so grateful to be here in this country and to be enjoying my life again, which I hadn't for years before coming here. So this is the biggest gift that I could have been given in my life. I think this is the best decision that we could have ever made coming to Mexico. Not to get too gushy on you guys, but it's great being here. I'm so happy. Hope we didn't get too serious on you guys today, but this is a topic that a lot of people have asked us about recently, and we think it's something that's important to share with you guys because it's part of what brought us to Mexico and traveling through the country and loving life more than we have in a very long time.
It may not be the most fun topic to talk about. It's a part of us.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to our story. If you have any questions that we didn't answer or something that you think that we could clarify a little bit more, please leave those things down below in the comments. If you like the videos that we're putting out and you like what we're doing here in Mexico, please make sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to see more of these videos that we are putting out. But also, gong that bell so you get notified every time we put out a new video. We will see you in the next one.